in the top left side. A man proving his strength in the previous round, beating Clem 2-0. Is he going to be as good looking in the TVZ matchup? It is another teammate that he's going up against. It is Team Liquid's Mana. His teammate, his enemy this time around. The man he's going to have to try and get his way through, or perhaps he's going to have to let through him. It is the Blue Zerg, also Team Liquid, ELAZER. That's a horrible zoom in. That was so bad. Hold on. Ah, there we go, a bit better. Redeemed. Okay, so what we're doing here. Probe blocking the natural. We got the unnatural natural going on. We got the gateway on the low ground here for Mana. Seems all reasonable. Seems all perfectly fine. The macro game commences for the time being. It's the probe. Once again, you know, it's one of those things. It's crazy how often Protoss players get this confused with which base is their base to mine from. It is... It's miraculous, isn't it? It is miraculous. He doesn't. Look at this. Now getting in a fist fight with the other workers. Ah. So confused. I'm getting some of them a little bit low. Coming back in again. Yeah, I mean, he can be around this area, right? Just getting all the information for as long as he wants. Circling speed still miles away. As long as there's no queen chasing him, he's gonna be okay. Anything else that could come out that can kill him are those zerglings, and, well, most likely he's gonna be able to just run away from those, right? A nice little bit of micro there from ELAZER. Trying to maximize his damage. Gets 2 hits already on that probe, and... you know what, he might be able to get him before that probe reaches the gateway unit safety here. Oh, he gives up on the chase. Decides to bring his Zerglings together in case one of those gateway units might already be somewhere across the map. Playing it safe. Alright, going for a third base. There we are. Mana not quite on his radar just yet. He is adding in a Twilight Council and a robotics facility. We're still on only 1 gate so far, so we'll see what kind of upgrade we're gonna get out of this. Is it going to be a dead glaive? It will be a dead glaive. Okay. I'm gonna still need a couple more gateways for this to be very successful, I imagine. Or perhaps it's going to be a deviation. Perhaps he's just going to have a few of them for a bit of harassment with a War Prism. And go for a third base with it. Looks like that is the idea here. And, well, we're going to see how that unfolds. It does feel like quite an investment, right? To get that glaive here for just a slight bit of aggression. Well, it's gonna be 4 gates. Yeah, I guess it's similar to like the Banshee Cloak upgrade, right? When you're only gonna make 1 or 2 Banshees. And the potential extra damage you could do is substantial, of course. So wait, that is 4 more gates. Okay, we're definitely wrapping that up right now. Alright. Perhaps third base, just all the facade. We'll see. Well, we're still seeing some probe production. Bringing his units across. Gonna be on 6 gateways total. It's still gonna be a moment though, and well, the Zerglings are here already. Having a bit of a tough time figuring out, you know what, these adepts shoot quite fast, don't they? And yes, they do. They have their upgrade ready, and they're Zergling killing machines right now. they lay their hands on a Zergling, you better believe that Zergling will go down quite quickly. Big shade for the main base, lets it finish. Alright, Queen's still quite a bit far away, as there is a counter-attack. All Zerglings across the map now hitting up the third base, so Mana's going to have to get quite a bit of damage dealt so far. He's doing a good job. Going to try to continue onwards with this momentum. Zerglings are trying to be gathered up here by ELAZER, but nothing such as a Baneling Nest or a Roach weren't quite yet available. That's when you start targeting the Zerglings here, all grouped up. Are going to be able to once again get a majority of the Zerglings killed off here. Orders Queens managed to get involved with the situation. However, the adept numbers definitely starting to dwindle now. More are continuously being warped in. How effective is it going to be now that these numbers are just no longer at a amount where it feels like it could snowball, right? It is really just a bit of harassment now. 40 workers versus 28, however, here available for mana. Sure, he did lose his third base. He killed a lot of drones and forced so many Zerglings out of the laser as well. That's a lot of larvae not becoming more drones. And, well, here he is again. More adepts. The Queen circumvented. He is just going to go for it. Keeping this natural base away for drones as well. He might cancel this. Yeah, he will. Oh, that is the good call to make. He is, like I said, he is just vibing right now. He is playing very well. Right to hit up these queens, just kind of tanking some damage. Cancels the shade once again. Just trying to trade with the queens. I guess the Zergling Roach hunters were starting to get quite intimidating. So those Zergling numbers, they do come back, and now he's here again. Is he over-committing? I feel like he might be. Then again, you don't really have a follow-up, do you? There's no tech available here for mana other than this. Guess you could try to plop down a Dark Shrine as well at some point. There's no lair available. And I bet that ELAZER doesn't want to really make sport crawlers at this point in time. Even just the threat of the Dark Shrine could be quite a dangerous thing. You know what? Mana going for a Robotics Bay. Starting to try and get some more of that attack rolling. Well, the Adepts are in a lot of trouble, once again. They just really haven't been getting the value they needed now for quite a while. Just quite rough. Looking at the units lost right now, that gas count, 1,300 more gas lost by mana. Oof. Oof. Disruptors are going to be available, but his main base pretty much mined out. No third base available for mana just quite yet. He's stuck in his own natural here. And it is a... oh, something I wonder right now what he is going to be planning to try and get himself back into this. Third base, or is he going to try to make some sort of a massive attack here? It's still the Adepts, but also a Disruptor this time around. Third base still coming up as well. I guess it is a good thing to try and keep ELAZER on the production of units, right? You don't want to give him too much space to just bump up his worker count with another 20, since he doesn't really have to make military units. There we are, yeah, 14 more Zerglings sourced with a couple of Ravagers as well, getting that money spent. ELAZER already back up to 52 workers. That shows he's been busy. He's been making those worker bees. And now he's still got himself an army as well. Alright, good disruptor hit, but the transfusions are clean as well. The War Prism goes down. The Disruptor is going to go down and recall. A desperate attempt to try and make his escape here with a few units that are remaining. Mana back at home, having to lick his wounds. That third base looking ever so exposed right now. Will ELAZER make a play for it? He might do. Lair only at this point being started. Which shows where ELAZER really put his priorities in this game. Where he's put his focus, trying to get, you know, which ducks he tried to get in a row first. And that was his own safety against the adept pressures and any potential follow-up. And just this economy. Get his economy back on track, and then, only then, he started working on getting the third attack of unlocked for this game. Something that is a bit easier, perhaps, to strike back at your opponent with. These Roaches and Ravagers are pretty good at the defense when you can set them up. But if you have to push into a Protoss through choke points and all that stuff with like shield batteries and thingamajigs there, it's a whole different story. They managed to clog themselves up quite a bit. Same goes for those Zerglings, of course. A lot more potential defensively there for them than offensively. Or perhaps there's just less opportunity for the Protoss player to, you know, make prep work for that type of army beforehand. When they are the ones, you know, running across the map. There we go. Bit of harassment. ELAZER starting to make some headway with his creep here, already in the middle. Looking pretty good with that. His base count has been flourishing, and the bottom left side acquiring that gold base, not too shabby. Mana now adding in his fourth base as well. Dark Shrine is coming in. Realizes the potential there, but now then, you know, the lair is already available. Overseers could just be morphed, but there's no spore crawlers still. So, slow bangs. Meant to be with slow bangs. I guess it was another attack coming. Definitely scary, but forcing a cancel on this Nexus right here. Or maybe actually, that's a kill. That's a kill on that Nexus. Our Templars have arrived in the Zerg base. Starting to clean up some drones right now. Starting to actually chase down the Queens. Not where you want to be. It takes a bit too long for those Queens to die. And the Overseers will be ready and waiting before you really get them. He gets 12 drones with it though. And that definitely punches ELAZER down a peg or two. To start spending a lot of money again on making those drones or replenishing those drones. Losing 28 in total. In fact, I thought I would be a little bit more after the amount of adepts that was sent in, but 28 drones, that is what's been gathered up kill-wise by Mana there. The really significant one. You know, you have a lot of Zerglings and Roaches there as well, which is also significant, but the adepts, they're really there to try and handicap the Zerg, economically speaking. It seems like somewhere along the way it was going okay, but then it just didn't quite manage to turn correctly there for Mana. Couldn't quite navigate himself from that position into an even more advantageous position. It started felt a little bit loose there, didn't it? With the adepts just coming in wave after wave, just being met by enough Zerglings and Roaches time and time again. Alright, ELAZER now perhaps the one looking for a bit of aggression. He's got himself a truckload of Banelings on the top side now being constructed. Bailing speed is accessible for those units as well now. And there are Vipers. Oh my, there are already Vipers available. Okay, feedback is also available. High Templar are there, Disruptors are there, Colossi are there. All the targets for this army, let's see. Doesn't quite get the feedback, so the joints on the AoE units are going to be true. Not a lot is left now. And so Laser waltzes up here. Takes out pretty much most of the important units for mana. And now, well, there's still gateway forces. They're pushing this backwards. Mana is going to have a difficult time recreating that army. I think he only has the one robotics facility, yeah, and that is now producing the disruptors. He's lost both of those. He's lost one of the Colossi, remade one of them, so he's back onto 2 with that. He's lost this High Templar. I think he may have transformed 2 of them. That could have been the Dark Templar as well, actually, that are now the Archons. I think those are the Dark Templar. Definitely saw 2 High Templar die there. 4 in total, actually. Yeah. Right, try again. It's the Zerg way. Rebuilds. Refurbish your opponent's base with roaches. And a bit of goo. Yeah, punch 1 was quite upsetting to handle there for mana, and now punch number 2 just seems unfair at this point, doesn't it? Nexus goes down. Mana. He's going to start losing out these gateway units as well. He's lost the Nexus. GG is gold. ELAZER taking game number 1. Doesn't have to send his Overlord now, but he knows there's a Stargate there, and well, perhaps he wants to send his Overlords into a bit of an obscure corner. Trying to head over there now, but still getting called out by the Stalker. Oracle brought over. I think his Overlord is going to get himself to safety. However, perhaps after this Oracle, there might be a Phoenix, right? So that could be a later target for mana to take down at a later point. Third base for mana as well in construction now. And with the second Oracle, let's see if he does go across the field here. Definitely did so in the TVP. Very, very active with those 2 Oracles and controlling them quite nicely also. So already a couple of queens there. The book club of the Zerg already assembled, ready to poke away with their little needles. Sewing needles ejected from their foreheads. Oracle still managed to loop around, get 4 kills right there for hardly any hull damage. The 4th base for mana, however, that is a bit early on, isn't it? Get himself in a bit of trouble. Zerglings get a good surround on the Stalker, now get a good surround on the 2 Adepts. The Oracle tries his best to minimize the amount that these Zerglings can do, but they picked off a good amount of gateway units there. And, well, they got a good scout on this base also. What's the response going to be here for ELAZER? Might be a bit of aggression. More Zerglings on the way. He's like, no sir, you're not going to get that 4th Nexus this early on. That's not going to happen. You're not going to have the 4th base before me. I'm a Zerg. Zerglings are in construction. A Roach Warren also has been constructed, but maybe perhaps we'll wait for the layer to be available for that road speed before you should be sending those across the map. Ooh, a good surround once again on those Adepts. Do not manage to find the safety of the mineral or gas fields. But the Oracles are here to safeguard the Nexus, so it will stand tall and proud for the time being. There's no Baneling Nest available for ELAZER. So he goes back into droning here. Very interesting. Seems like he was a bit, perhaps, uncertain as to what the right approach here, what the right answer would be against this base. Those Zerglings, you know, if they had taken out that Nexus, that would have been great, but well, they kind of traded against gateway units. now we still have a situation where Mana just has a phenomenal economy compared to ELAZER. It's just now an old game because of this. As Mana making more and more gateways. I like this, man. Kind of gives me the Taiwanese Protoss vibes in a way. Alright, a very heavy gateway style here approach. Very quick with the expanding. Pretty sure I saw Nice kind of do that. At least, you know, taking it to the utmost extremes I've ever seen. And working as well. That was the most miraculous thing. It's like he was just 1 or 2 bases ahead of Zergs, and it's like, yeah, no, look at the amount of money I have for Zealots now. Alright. Fire coming up for ELAZER. Definitely it could be something to try and reduce the amount of mining going on for Mana. As Mana, of course, spending some of that money at keeping army units or defensive units. Getting that nexus up so early. He's doing a great job with his Stalkers so far, however. Just kind of poking around, getting a good trading value with them. And he is perfectly safe to do so for the time being, as there's not that much a tremendous threat to them. The Zerglings, definitely a little bit of a threat, but with 3 Oracles above them, unless if the Queens get involved, then, you know, that is not something that Mana is going to be all too scared about. Ooh, another little bit of a hit up here. The Oracles have been zoned away. Zealots trying to make the charge. Is that going to be enough, however? Nice blink micro backwards, keeping most of the Stalkers alive. Now there's mostly Roaches here, and the Stalkers, you know, they're still there. Mutalisk enter the fray also. Let's take a look at the defenses. More's being set up as we speak. Immediately as those Mutalisks get in vision, we see cannons and shield batteries going up in the production tab. Another Nexus here being constructed by Mana. ELAZER's caught onto this game. He's already got his 5th base. Now with the Mutalisk in the main base, 6 probes do fall. Well, a single Mutalisk has perished just quite yet, so good control for him. Making more Mutalisk. Alright, upgrades for them included. I do like this idea against the Protoss that is just taking a lot of bases quite early on. It's going to be rough for them to defend all those places at the same time. So if you have these units like the Mutalisk that can very quickly, you know, apply pressure to different areas, this could work out in his favor. Stalkers are quite mobile, however. We're seeing Phoenix also being added into the mix. Baneling bust for ELAZER. He's going to start running in there. Well, doesn't quite have the Banelings just yet. Does have them now, trying to pull the army of Mana perhaps into this area. And there they are. Baneling speed not quite ready yet, but coming forwards. Nice hold position on those Zealots, trying to keep his probes alive, but there's a lot of probes going down, and that's most of the gateway force going down as well. How many Mutalisks are still remaining? Only 4. A handful of Roaches as well, but they're going to get dealt with, man. ELAZER's going to lose his army. He's traded out quite nicely, and of course the most important thing, it's taken out quite a bit of those probes. Mana plus the 3 weapon attacks already in production here. Starting up Colossus production. That is a wonderful thing for him. Getting a couple of Colossi here would be a tremendous help, especially with that plus 3 weapon attack already available for them. But oh, ELAZER ready with another flock of Mutalisks. He's reassembled the Mutas. He's ready to deliver some more damage onto those probes, make the life difficult for those Stalkers, as they have too many places to be right now. Flaming, circlings, the whole shebang, rolling in. Stark is trying to make a blockade here, but those probes are still right underneath them. It's just more damage being taken now. As Mana seemingly will go down 2-0. GG, well played. ELAZER just a little bit too sharp here for Mana today.